Okay, guys. We will start to 5 minutes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the room 2. Before I mention your name one by one, I will read you the rules that have been set. Parallel session rules. The first parallel session will be led by a moderator. Participants must enter the meeting room that has been determined. Be present 15 minutes before the parallel session begins. Participants must activate the camera. Each presenter is given 5 minutes for presentation and 5 minutes for question and answers. So that's the order that rule as agreed during this presentation. I hope all of participants keep mute the microphone while presentation from other team are in progress. So the first I invite to the team consisting of Hasan Basri, Nuryanti Mustari, Asriadi Ali, Ansyari Wijaya, with the title Disaster Management Concept Based on Public Policy Perspective from Magister Ilmu Administrasi Publik. Time's yours. Hasan Basri, Asriadi Ali, Ansyari Wijaya. Hasan Basri, Asriadi Ali, Ansyari Wijaya. Last call for team 1 by Hasan Basri, Asriadi Ali, Ansyari Wijaya. Next, from team by Faizul Abror Mustafa, Antoka, Laude Andi Armada, Laude Mardan Sakti Putra Rustama, with the title Implementation the Kendari Regional.
ID on the webinar must use with full name and present.
Yeah, time's yours.
Yes. Okay. Well, thanks for moderators that has given us time to present our paper here. But before, let me share our paper here, the share screen. All the participants can see our paper here. Wait. Our paper is about implementation the Kendari Regional Disaster Management Agency, BPPD function in flood disaster management. on the Wanggu River, Kendari. The authors are Faizul Abra Mustafa, Antoka, Laonde Andi Armada, Laude Mardan Sakti Putra Rustaman. We are from Government Science Department, Faculty of Political and Social Science, University of Haluoleo. The flood disaster phenomenon are still become an important issues. Disaster Management Law number 24 of 2007 is the basic of the establishment of the National Disaster Development Agency, BNPB, which was established in 2008, and the Regional Disaster Management Agency, BPBD. This shows Indonesians' awareness and commitment to disasters. And also the local government, namely the Kendari government, issued the Kendari Regional Regulation number 4 of 2011 concerning the establishment of the organization and work procedure of the Kendari City Regional Disaster Management Agency. It is hoped that they will be able to become government guidelines in effort to overcome existing disasters. In a location of flood disaster, exactly in Wanggu River, we found some problems. The first is there is no synergy between the competent agencies in disaster socialization activities and disaster emergency response training to the local community. Second, when there is a flood in the Wanggu River, for the division of labor among coordinating member agencies, it seems that the job desk has not been allocated and distributed properly. Third, BPBD of Kendari is indicated to be less than optimal in carrying out its command function when disaster occurs. In this case, BPBD of Kendari at the time of giving orders and command and when monitoring emergency response activities for flood prevention in the Wanggu River area. The fourth, communication by the Kendari City Regional Disaster Management Agency as the coordinator in disaster management is indicated to have not gone well, especially in post-disaster activities, namely the recovery or the rehabilitation process. There are still problems in recovering environmental impacts and restoring the health of residents affected by floods. So there are two research questions here. First, how is the implementation of the Kendari BPBD function in the Wanggu River flood disaster management in Kendari? Second, how is the Wanggu River flood disaster management carried out by the Kendari BPBD? Concept framework. Here, we are using two concepts. First is BPBD functions. Regional Regulation number 4 of 2011, which consists of three parts. First, coordination function. Second is command functions. And the third is execution function. And second concept is disaster management, which consists of three parts. First is pre-disaster activities. Second is activities in the event of disaster. And the third is pro-disaster activities. And the method that we use, type of research, is descriptive qualitative. We are collecting the data by interview, observation, documentation. And the informant of our paper generally are from BPBD itself and also the society in the Wanggu River area. The data analysis technique, we use descriptive, qualitative data analysis through the process of the data collection, data reduction, data display, and conclusion verification. The next is result and discussion will be presented by my friends. Laude Mardan Rustaman, time is yours.
Well, I would like to use this opportunity to continue our team presentation, but with Indonesian language. Before it, my voice is clear. You hear my voice?
I'm sorry for team by Faizul Abror Mustafa. Your time is 2 minutes left.
All right. Baik. Lanjut ya, berkaitan dengan hasil dan pembahasan penanggulangan banjir yang terjadi di Kaliwanggu, Provinsi Sulawesi Tenggara, Kota Kendari. Yang pertama, ada berbagai macam upaya tentu yang dilakukan oleh pemerintah Kota Kendari dalam menanggulangi bencana banjir yang terjadi di Kota Kendari. Yang pertama, bagaimana pelaksanaan penyelenggaraan fungsi BPD Kota Kendari dalam penanggulangan bencana banjir di Sungai Wanggu, Kota Kendari. Langkah yang dilakukan pertama adalah bagian pengkoordinasian. Di dalam pelaksanaan penanggulangan bencana banjir di wilayah daerah aliran sungai Kaliwanggu, Badan Kesatuan Kerja yang berada di bawah wewenang dan tanggung jawab suatu lembaga pemerintah yang memiliki tingkat tertentu. Dalam hal ini, koordinasi penanggulangan bencana melibatkan berbagai lembaga di antara pemerintah Kota Kendari, BPD Kota Kendari, BPD Provinsi Sulawesi Tenggara, dan BNPB. Selanjutnya, ada lagi tugas fungsi pengkomandoan. Di dalam fungsi pengkomandoan tentu berbagai macam upaya yang dilakukan. Berdasarkan fakta di lapangan, meskipun rencana kontingensi telah diberlakukan, namun masih terdapat permasalahan-permasalahan yang terjadi di tengah-tengah masyarakat. Yang ketiga, berkaitan dengan pelaksanaan kegiatan operasi penanggulangan bencana. Di dalam pelaksanaan operasi penanggulangan bencana, di Sungai Wanggu terdapat tahapan-tahapan pra-bencana, tanggap darurat, maupun pasca bencana yang dikoordinasikan oleh Badan Penanggulangan Bencana Daerah Kota Kendari kepada masyarakat setempat. Yang kedua, berkaitan dengan solusi atau jawaban terhadap perumusan masalah yang kedua adalah penanggulangan bencana banjir Sungai Wanggu, Kota Kendari. Bagaimana upaya yang dilakukan oleh Pemkot setempat, yaitu dengan membagi 3 tahapan penanggulangan. Yang pertama adalah pra-bencana banjir atau sebelum bencana banjir dilakukan. Banyak kiat-kiat yang dilakukan tentunya, seperti pencegahan bencana banjir merupakan bentuk pengendalian agar dapat meminimalisir bencana banjir yang terjadi. Meskipun demikian, tidak ada satupun yang tahu kapan bencana akan terjadi dan tidak ada yang dapat mencegah atau menghalangi bencana alam tersebut. Yang kedua, saat bencana banjir. Saat bencana banjir juga banyak upaya-upaya yang dilakukan oleh Pemkot Kota Kendari untuk melakukan evakuasi atau mitigasi agar korban yang terdampak tidak terlalu banyak atau bisa terminimalisir. Yang ketiga adalah pasca bencana banjir. Tentu di pasca bencana banjir pemerintah harus benar-benar lebih efektif dan efisien, terutama dalam melakukan rehabilitasi atau rekonstruksi terhadap orang-orang terdampak. Lanjut kesimpulan tentu ada 2 poin yang kita tarik atau garis besar dalam kesimpulan ini. Yang pertama adalah pelaksanaan penyelenggaraan fungsi BPD dalam penanggulangan bencana banjir di Sungai Wanggu, Kota Kendari pada dimensi pengkoordinasian telah dilaksanakan dengan cukup efektif. Dari segi fungsi pengkomandoan belum berjalan yang efektif. Kemudian dan dimensi pelaksanaan kegiatan operasional penanggulangan bencana di Sungai Wanggu telah berjalan dengan cukup efektif dan efisien. Yang kedua, penanggulangan bencana banjir Sungai Wanggu, Kota Kendari yang dilakukan oleh pihak BPD Kota Kendari setelah ditinjau berdasarkan instrumen penelitian, yaitu indikator telah dilaksanakan dengan cukup efektif. Pencegahan dan kesiapsiagaan pada bencana untuk mengerahkan segala sumber daya, peralatan logistik, dan tindakan penyelamatan penanggulangan kebencanaan telah dilakukan dengan cukup baik. Kemudian pada pasca bencana terjadi kegiatan rehabilitasi dan rekonstruksi juga telah dilakukan dengan cukup baik. Intinya setiap kebijakan pemerintah yang diambil oleh atau yang dikeluarkan oleh pemerintah tentu harus ada juga upaya-upaya sustainable yang dilakukan atau tindak lanjut seperti bencana yang ada di sini. Cuman lagi-lagi pemerintah tidak bisa berjalan efektif dan efisien kebijakan yang dikeluarkan tanpa ada kolaborasi dan kerjasama oleh seluruh masyarakat. Maka dari itu untuk di Kota Kendari yang masih minimalisir adalah kesadaran dan kerjasama dari masyarakat. Sehingga dari itu yang harus menjadi poin utama agar betul-betul apa yang menjadi program dan polisi pemerintah bisa berjalan dengan baik dan terlaksana dan berdampak bagi orang-orang yang betul-betul membutuhkan.
Yeah, okay, thank you for team by Faizul Abror and
Yes.
other. This paper discuss about how to implementation the function of BPBD, tackling flood disaster in the city of Kendari. So next, from team by Vera Juliana Fajar, Rizky Amalia, Arif Rahman Setiawan, Muhammad Rashidi Mahmud, with the title paper towards improved flood disaster governance in Luwu Utara, partnership of local government and private sector. Time's yours. Vera Juliana Fajar from Magister Ilmu Administrasi Publik. Okay, next from Anissa Al-Maulidia Ruka, Alwi Iswar, Ahmiranil Khairat, Amir Muhyiddin, with the title papers, implementation of bridge policy for emergency response for natural disaster response in Bantaeng Regency from Universitas Muhammadiyah Makassar. Time's yours. Alwi Iswar, Anissa Al-Maulidia Ruka.
Halo.
Ya, oke. Your time
Halo,
for
moderator.
presentation. Your time for presentation just 5 minutes.
Oke, moderator. Moderator.
Yes.
Wait for the minutes.
Okay, for Team Alwi Iswar, if the presentation not to start, we will be in 2 minutes. We will go on to the next presenters. For Team Alwi Iswar, I will, if you don't answer my call, I will move to the next presenter.
Ya.
Hello? Are you ready?
Kasih anu di situ. Ada misalnya apa tuh? Halo? Ada moderator? Halo?
Ya, halo.
Oke. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks to the moderator for the opportunity that has been given. First, let me introduce myself and my team. My name is Anissa Almalidia Ruka as presenter. Next, there is Amir Muhyiddin as my tutor, then Amiranil Khairat and Alwi Iswar. I will present the journal entitled Implementation of Emergency Disaster Preparedness Brigade Policy in Bantaeng Regency. According to Don Nurianti Mustari 2015, page 136, said that policy implementation is more of a practical activity, which includes executing and directing. The same thing was stated by Salusul in book Nurianti Mustari 2015. 15, page 139, who said that implementation is a set of activities that will be carried out to formulate a decision. The decision in question is to achieve the target. In order to realize the achievement of these goals, a series of activities are needed. Next, the Disaster Preparedness Brigade, or BSB, was officially formed on December 7, 2009, through the decree of the Bantaeng Region number 413/595/12/2009 concerning the formation of the Bantaeng Regency Emergency Service Team, coinciding with the 755th anniversary of Bantaeng Regency. This policy aims to bring health service delivery closer to the community quickly, easily, and on target. Quick response in handling cases is a characteristic of the BSB team, so it is not an exaggeration if this unit is one of the mainstays of the Bantaeng Regency government in the field of public services. The Disaster Preparedness Brigade is a multidisciplinary team whose function is to prevent emergencies and disasters, including community preparedness, prevention, and mitigation of or taming of emergency and disaster events, and also function to respond quickly to handling them in the health sector. The background of the establishment of the BHB, among others, is the fact that so far disaster management activities by the Ministry of Health have been carried out by existing work units as one of many other tasks, so that they are not handled optimally. PSB is expected to be able to carry out its duties, especially in the field of disaster management, and can support the implementation of daily emergencies. Okay.
Uh, 2 minutes, 2 minutes left for your presentation.
Okay. Next, the Disaster Preparedness Brigade is an application of the Safe Community Program, namely a safe and healthy situation created by the active role of the community, including the private sector, profession, and government that work together in emergency and disaster management. Substance Safe Community is an effort by the community, from the community, and for the community, encouraged by the government as a facilitator towards creating healthy and safe conditions. The Disasters Preparedness Brigade, or BSB, is a multidisciplinary unit or team whose function is to prevent emergencies and disasters. The tasks of this team include the preparation of community preparedness, prevention, and mitigation or taming of emergencies and disaster, as well as rapid handling in the health sector. Disaster Preparedness Brigade, or BSB, is a health task force consisting of medical officers like doctors and nurses, paramedics, and special laymen who provide health services in the form of prevention, alertness, and assistance for disaster victims. This is based on the regional conditions of Bantaeng Regency, which has a geographical conditions of plains and mountainous areas, so that this distance factor and lack of access to transportation are factors causing the slow handling of disaster. So that events like this are usually accompanied by casualties, and if not handled properly will hinder these third and these problems have become a reflection for the region of Bantaeng. Nurdin Abdullah to find solutions, so that a strategic step is formulated to form a coordination system between sectors as an emergency response team. In the Bantaeng district, Disaster Preparedness Brigade. The central command post for the Disaster Preparedness Brigade is in a strategic area located in the provincial access road. Pahlawan number.
I'm sorry. Time's up for your presentation. Before I go to the next presentation, I will inform you for the question and answers system. We inform to all of you, if there is anything you want to ask, please send a question to the chat room by attaching to whom the question will be addressed. We will select your questions and we will read it at the end of the presentation, all of you, and then it will be answered by the group who was asked the question. Thank you. So next from team.
Thank you, moderator.
Yeah, you are welcome. Tim Muhammad Hasbi Aziz Agani, Ahmad Takbir Abadi, Dwi Nur Ilma Aulia Herman, with the title
moderator.
Local Government Strategies in Managing Flood Disaster in Tompobulu District, Maros Regency, from Universitas Muhammadiyah Makassar. Time's yours.
Okay, give me time. My voice clearly, moderator.
Yes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for attention for us. Okay, I want to explain about us journal. The title is Local Government Strategies in Managing Flood Disaster in Tompobulu District, Maros Regency. Authored by Muhammad Asbi Aziz Agani, Ahmad Takbir Abadi, Dwi Nur Ilma Aulia, and the last Herman. First, introduction. Disaster is one of the risks to regional resiliency, one of which is the flood disaster, which has an influence in the social, economy, and environmental community, necessitating the community involvement, the government efforts. With the regional regulation of Maros Regency number 3 of 2010, concerning formation of organization, structure, and work procedure of the regional disaster management agency of Maros Regency in a regional regulation.
Okay, next. Yeah, talking about a strategy concept, talking about literature review, we use a strategy concept from Chrysantheme 20 and 13. The point is the strategy is talking about formulation, implementation, and evaluation. And the other expert from Octaria, according to Octari 2020, the point is disaster management is a strategic planning and procedure that is administered and implemented to present key infrastructure, important economy, crucial asset from severe damage. Okay, next. Next.
Okay, methodology. Methodology. Okay, methodology. This is study is a qualitative descriptive study, observation, interview, and documentation are used to collect data.
Okay, next. And we got the result and discussion. We talk about formulation, and the existence of the Musrembang includes discussion about disaster management. And while the Maros Regency government held a climate village program, yes, overcoming flood is divided into two categories: is adaptation and mitigation. And the intended implementation or implementation or execution has gone as anticipated, began with the construction of embankment, weirs, and low-rise streets, as well as the means of environmental cleaning, particularly along river's bank and the planting of trees around spring. And the last, we got evaluation, like indicator from Christian Tin, the evaluation of all types of planning, implementation of the evaluation section as a finishing or repair methods. And next,
supporting factors. Okay, supporting factors. The region of Maros Regency who directly interfere with the official concern, as well as students who participate in socialization in community with the majority of the community responding positively.
And then obstacle factors. The problem of very restricted budget is an impediment, and there are only pros and cons that occur in the field to the community. Okay, next.
Conclusion, the aspect, namely the formulation, implementation, and evaluation have been carried out well in disaster management in the district of Tompobulu, Maros Regency.
Okay, well, there are our explanation, and forgive me for our mistake, and thank you very much, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for group by Hasbi Agani and Takdir Abadi. So next, team Andi Fiska Irfa Nisha, Muhammad Iksan, Juliana Nurfitri Alfia S, with the title The Existence of Today's Women in the Organizing of Election in Makassar City from Universitas Muhammadiyah Makassar. Times yours.
Well, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to thank the judges, Mr. Ahmad Harakan, SIP, MHI, and thanks also to the moderator for giving me the opportunity to appear explaining the presentation material from our group. Now, on this occasion, I will deliver a presentation entitled The Existence of Today's Women in Election in Makassar City. Well, the name of our team members are introduce myself, Andi Fiska Irfanisa, and second, Muhammad Iksan, third, Juliana, and fourth, Nurfitri Alfia S. Well, introduction. background, democracy is a concept that makes the people the highest power holder. The various principles of democracy are very beautiful and noble. However, it feels like a noble concept without any proof. It's just wishful thinking and a dream. Being a country based on democracy leads the government to really focus on realizing the concept of democracy. Next, problem formulation. First, how is the existence of women in the implementation of election in Makassar City? Second, what are the obstacles and challenges faced by women in Makassar City in organizing election? And third, what are the efforts to improve the existence of women in electoral area in Makassar City? Next point of literature review. First, gender equality. Second, politics and women. Third, basic concept of general election. Okay, next, to point method. Research approach. The type of research used in this study is a qualitative research type using a case study approach. And techniques of data collection is by the authors in this study, namely the documentation technique is a record of events that have passed. Next, search type of data. The search of data in this study is the search of the object from which the data can be obtained. In qualitative research, the position of the research person is very important, not only giving a response, but also the owner or information. Next, result and discussion. The concept of democracy in Indonesia, which reflects the equality between citizens, is something that must be upheld, especially equality for women. Women are figures who are considered only able to work as housewives. Even though women also have the same rights as men. Women can also get an education, can also do politics, and so on. Women are also citizens who deserve their rights as citizens. Next, the contribution of women in work provides many benefits, especially in the world of Indonesian politics. As a strong figure, women can lead the country well without being neglected with their mandatory duties as housewives. The political sphere really needs women participation because politics without women's participation clearly shows that justice does not exist and must be corrected immediately. Various challenges and obstacles must be overcome by women so that their existence in the implementation of election can be recognized. For example, there is a socio-cultural perspective in South Sulawesi regarding women, namely, first, women as Indo-Ana, namely mothers who are in charge of taking care of children, and two, women as Pataro Papole Aselawangan, namely the role of women as custodians and custodians of the fortune obtained by their husband. Three, women as Repo Ariatutui Sirina, namely the role of guardians of family same. And given the existence of representation of women in the general election of Makassar City is still lacking, various efforts are needed to increase the existence of women in election arena in Makassar City.
I'm
It
sorry
is hard.
for the presenter. Your time, 1 minute left. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
1 minute.
Oh, yeah. Solution is first, the family must provide education about politics, that participating in political event is an important part of building society, nation, and state. Second, girls who attend basic political education from high school to university are encouraged to actively participate in organizations such as OSIS, BEM, and extra-university organizations such as HMI, GMI. Now, third, to advocate for women so that they are called to participate in the political arena. Conclusion, based on the result of research on the existence of women in the electoral arena in Makassar City, research can conclude that the 30% quota set by the government to encourage the existence of women in election has not been fully realized properly. Maybe that is all I can say. I hope the result of the presentation that I gave can be useful for the audience. Thanks for moderator.
Thank you for your presentation. Next, Vera Juliana Fajar, Rizky Amalia Arif Rahman Setiawan, Muhammad Rashidi Mahmud. Time's yours.
Jadi tentunya data yang apa? Tentu sudah dibahas.
Rashidi Mahmud, are you ready?
Yes. Yes, I am ready. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I am Muhammad Rashidi Mahmud in the Universitas Muhammadiyah Makassar. Well, I am in presentation towards improved flood disaster governance in Lu Utara, partnership of local government and private sector. Abstract regional autonomy provides a great opportunity to the region to develop or plan of regional development in accordance with the needs of the region, addressing the geographical North Lu, which is vulnerable to disasters, especially floods, then the planning to the reducing Bakan assault be understood government, but rather a matter of all parties in the region and nationally in the Indonesia has passed a regulation on disaster management. The form of cooperation between regency is a form of cooperation of mutual cooperation. The form of cooperation is mutual cooperation because cooperation is not there. Is a written agreement. The activities carried out but volunteering or without expecting anything in return. In regardless of the activity, please help mutual cooperation between the government and the community to prevent and cope with disaster is very important to do, as well as in preventing and tackling the flood disaster from of cooperation that do not regardless of the mutual support and social work. Next, Indonesia is a country that has a region prone a natural disaster. In Indonesia ranging from earthquakes, tsunami, floods, landslide, and whirlwind. This disaster consists of two kinds of disasters due to human action and disaster directly from nature. Disasters do.
Hello?
Yes.
One minute left for your presentation.
Oh, okay. Literature review contain studies of previous research and theoretical framework. Previous study stating the research relevant. Previous research related to the topic and explanation. Author shall review the research result and novelty of the study compared with previous studies. Will the theoretical framework discuss the theories used in this article as well as its relevance to the topic. The theoretical framework can also be an explanation of the variables and measurements. 1. Previous research by Heru Kusuma Bakti and Ahmadi Nurmadi entitled Post-Disaster Recovery Earthquake in North Lombok in 20.
I'm sorry for Rashidi Mahmud.
Yes.
Your time's up. So I will next to group by Muhammad Nasir, Muhammad Fikriansyah Tahir, Nurul Izza Andi Ebi Kumarul, with the title Gender Equality in Job Placement in Bone District from Universitas Muhammadiyah Makassar. Time's yours. Next, from group by Jumria K, Nurul Fitriana Harsyaf, Rizky Jannatun Naim, Iqbal Nur Arfa, with the title Involvement of Women in Political Development from Universitas Muhammadiyah Makassar. Time's yours. Time's yours.
Okay, thanks to the moderators, all the participation, and the jury, Mr. Ahmad Harakan. Introduce myself. My name is Rizky Janatun Naim, and my team, Jumriyaka and Nurul Fitriana Harsyaf. Let me share my material. And to streamline, my times just start.
Involvement of women in political development. Next. Opening. Gender is an issue that demands social and cultural constructions justice between men and women. In the demands of these constructions, it is hoped that the balance of functions, status, and nature between the sexes can be realized. On the contrary, development is a constructions of change that occur in society from certain socio-cultural conditions towards something that is considered more favorable. Next. Research method. This research was conducted for 2 months. The research location is in the P2 TP2A office in Makassar district. This type of research is qualitative research. This study uses the descriptive approach. Source of data used are primary data and secondary data, data collection techniques from literature, journals, or the author documents, as well as observation, interviews, and documentation. By observing and interviewing, data analysis techniques used in this research are data reduction, data presentation, and conclusion drawing. Next. Discussion. Women's leadership is a public issue that is always discussed. Women are judged unfit to hold positions relating to power that are considered appropriate only for men. The stigma that women don't need high school and even toil to the kitchen is also often used as a tool to justify unfair actions against women. The main challenge in women's leadership are the strength of the patriarchy leadership system at the national elite level and the strong Islamic politics that is also patriarchal. The two are married and impede the political growth of women who are capable of giving birth to a leader. Susan argues that leaders, both secular nationalists and Islamists, but have high enough self-esteem to limit women's political movement space under the pretext of nature. Gender issue is an issue that demands social and cultural Gender issue is an issue that demands social and cultural construction justice between men and women. Therefore, the government has taken a policy regarding the need for the right strategy so that it can reach all levels of society. Women have their own way of thinking and different leadership styles from men. Women have both feminine and masculine sides to them when they lead. Feminine principles processed by women and can be used as capital to develop intuitive, oriented, and relate to others, prioritize and uphold human values, sensitive, yet
1 minute left.
Okay. Next, sensitive to taste and understanding the feelings of others, intelligent, assertive, creative, and broad-minded. Masculine principles will support and complement each other in leading activities. Women do not adopt a man's way of thinking. nor do they avoid their gentle nature. I close with the word thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So next, Sri Wahyuni Julianita Risman Hairati with the title Women and Politics in the Perspective of Feminism and Gender Equality in Indonesia, a case in Makassar, from Government Science. Time's yours. Halo, Sri Wahyuni. Okay, next. Adila Puspa Hestiantini, Nursale Hartaman, and Sumir Sarmito with the title Women's Political Communication, Dr. Corlins Communication on Social Media from Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Time's yours.
Okay. Okay, thank you for time. Women's Political Communication, Dr. Carlo Reed, Communication on Social Media. Introduction. The dilemmatic situation faced by women is experienced by most Indonesian women who want to even have a professional career. Career women feel complicated to devote their talents experience to the development of the nation and the state, including being involved in the political policy. This is important because women are involved in politics, so that they can voice the interests and rights and women in politics in the everyday life. According to Maman 2017. Various social media platforms are used such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and others, including the PDIP female politician and the district head, West Borneo Handhope for the 2017 until 2020. Research methodology. The research data that has been collected in capture social media Instagram, then processed through NVivo. The data is matched to the predetermined research indicator. The coding process is adapted to the theory that has been used, classifying data as a retranslation process of data coding. Classifying process using NVivo cross-tabulation. Cross-tabulation as a compression process of each data. The last stage in the NVivo analysis process in the display of data in the form of graph and table. This analysis model in NVivo is referred to as five-step analysis. according to Wolf and Silver 2018. Result. Number one, communicative ideology. The result of the communicative ideology analysis using NP4 showed that communicative ideology have four categories, namely communicative ideology culture, communicative ideology gender, communicative ideology Pancasila, and communicative ideology pluralism. The result of the analysis that the communicator, namely Dr. Caroline, is his social media on Instagram, captioned his post above communicative ideology nature as most as 15% communicative ideology gender, as much 40% communicative ideology of Pancasila are almost as 35 and communication ideology as 10%.
For presenters.
Next, emotional.
Halo, halo. Halo.
Yeah.
For presenters, 1 minute left. Halo.
Ya.
1 minute left, Kak.
Okay. Okay. Emotional quality. And core argument. Conclusion. Instagram is social media channel that Dr. Caroline used in carrying out the political communication both as a radio head and as a female politician. Political communication as social media is one of the most effective ways to do the considering the progress of information technology is growing very rapidly. There are three elements in communication based on Aristotle's theory. From first activity uploaded by Dr. Caroline to social media Instagram, there are 50% communicated ideology, 19% emotional quality, and 65% core argument. Okay, thank you.
Okay, next. Muhammad Nasir, Muhammad Fikriansyah Tahir, Nurul Iza, Andi Ebi Kumarul with the title Gender Equality in Job Placement in Bone District from Universitas Muhammadiyah Makassar. Time's yours. Andi Ebi Kumarul. Halo. Okay, next. Sri Wahyuni, Julianita, Risma Hairati. Oh, sudah, Div? Sri Wahyuni, Julianita, Risma Hairati with the title Women and Politics in the Perspective of Feminism and Gender Equality in Indonesia.
Ayo Kak.
Halo?
Ya.
Please share screen your PPT. Andi Ebi, share me PPT tak? Halo, Andi Ebi. Halo, Andi Ebi. Okay, I will read a question from the group by Hasbi Agani and Ahmad Takbir Abadi. Question for Andi Fiska Irfa about the existence of today's women in the organizing of election in Makassar City. How influential and what is contribution and the role of women in local election? Please answer.
Well, thanks to the moderator. Let me answer. The question is, how influential and what is contribution and the role of women in local election? The answer, women are very influential in election and the contribution of women in work provides many benefits, especially in the world of Indonesian politics. As a strong figure, women can lead the country well without being neglected with their mandatory duties as housewives. The political sphere really needs women's participation because politics without women's participation clearly show that justice does not exist and must be corrected immediately. Thank you. That answer.
Thank you for the answer. For Ahmad Takbir Abadi and Hasbi Agani, if you have kalau ada tanggapan,
Yes, moderator.
Ya, silakan ditanggapi.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And next, a question from Ahmad Takbir Abadi and Hasbi Agani for Jumriana. Based on your research that women don't follow the men way like masculine, but when the woman join or enter with political development, I mean there are get a lot of pressure, and we know women always use feeling. How to fix the problem? Rizky Janatun Naim. Pertanyaan untuk kelompoknya kalian ya dari Ahmad Takbir Abadi. Halo? Enggak ada. Jumriaka Nurul Fitriana Harsha, Rizky Janatun Naim. Halo.
Present.
Ya, oke, please answer. Untuk pertanyaan dari Hasbi dan Takbir yang ditujukan kepada kelompok Jumria Nurul Fitriana. Okay, the next question from Priyo for Hasbi. Why is disaster management important? What are the benefits of disaster management? For Hasbi and Takbir, please answer. Halo, Hasbi.
Okay, moderator, but wait a minute because in here Azan maybe disturbing with voice for your voice. Okay, thank you for audience for the answer. I mean, the how important why is disaster management important? Because disaster management, we need disaster management because we need mitigation. We have to know what will we to do before, present, and after disaster. What will we to do? So we have to management disaster because without management disaster, we get a lot of impact like economic, social, maybe and political too. Because environment, because disaster make a lot of damage from environmental. And then benefit, we learn about the management, disaster management. The benefit are we can now what we will to do, like my presentation. We have to do formulation and implementation and the last evaluation. The formulation is like in my presentation, we to do musrembang. Yes, maybe we know musrembang, and which includes discussion about flood disaster management, as well as other formulation or planning carried out by the Maros Regency government climate village program. Overcoming floods in divided into two categories: adaptation and mitigation. So formulation, we make musrembang, and we discuss about how to the disaster management, what will to do, and then the implementation. We get construction. We begin in the construction of embankment, weirs, and low-rise street, and then evaluation. We talking about repair and finishing. What the implementation, like construction of embankment. If the construction and the to repair the embankment. So maybe the conclusion is the benefit of disaster management. We have to beginning from the formulation, implementation, and evaluation. We have to know how we will to do for minimize the damage of disaster. Just it. Thank you for moderator.
Thank you for your nice answer. The next question from Nurpriyo for Adila Puspa. How important is political communication on social media? For Adila Puspa, please answer.
Okay. Thank you for question. Thank you for moderator. Very important because in modern time, people are looking for information to get information on social media. By using social media, the communication delivered will reach the public more quickly. Thank you. Thank you, moderator.
For a question from Hasbi to Rizky Jannatul Naim and other team. Please your answer. Question.
Excuse me, moderator.
Iya.
Hello.
Halo.
Exactly, my question is related with Adila. Yes. Maybe Miss Adila can answer too. My voice is clearly.
Yes.
Yes, maybe Miss Adila can answer too, because there is talking about the pressure for the woman, and Miss Adila presented about involvement about women in political communication, because on social media,
Bunda jawab pertanyaannya, weh. Usah suruh di sini.
On social media have a lot of impact for a woman, like sexual abuse, It's like a pressure. How to fix it? How to fix it? The problem. My question is related for Miss Adelia. Okay.
Oke, thank you. Sudah ada jawaban dari Mr. Jannatul Naim. Silahkan dijawab pertanyaan dari Hasbi dan Takbir. Time is yours. Halo, Rizky Jannatul Naim.
Itu ya. Kan tadi jawab itu tuh.
Kamu menjelaskan dari, for example, dari bisa juga.
Halo. Halo.
Oke, saya akan menjawab pertanyaannya. Langsung saja. Sometimes.
For example, bencana.
I'm sorry. Sometimes using feelings in order to make a decision is important because using feelings will increase the sensitivity of women to solve the problems in social issues. Thank you.
Thank you for your answer. Bagaimana Saudara Hasbi?
Okay, I got it. Women sensitive. The women talking about social decision.
Okay, that's the presentation of material from other group. Thank you so much for your participation. And for all of you, please return to the main room to listen to the announcements of the best presenter and the best article. Jadi silahkan kembali ke room utama untuk mendengarkan pengumuman presenter terbaik dan artikel terbaik. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.